How about those DC Rebirth comics? After Batman v Superman came out and got the critical reception that it did, I think DC fans, superhero fans, and moviegoers in general were legitimately interested how Suicide Squad would play out. The follow-up film to bridge the gap in between Justice League, Wonder Woman, and also Batman v Superman. The first non-Zack Snyder directed movie in the DCEU. The film does have an interesting development, being announced in 2009 with production not really ramping up. I do this motion a lot. September of 2014. I don't know, if it were me, I wouldn't be the one picking Suicide Squad as an early DC cinematic universe movie. Especially since the film apparently has little to do with the whole Justice League thing. But hey, DC post-90s, am I right? With the film starting its development shortly after The Dark Knight, I'm wondering if DC and Warner Brothers wanted to get this movie out there as soon as possible and just decided, let's just put this in our cinematic universe thing after the Avengers hit. With news of Warner Brothers changing the film around after Batman v Superman and its reception, Suicide Squad really is a movie of really half-baked ideas, which is disappointing. Why, DC, why, When getting into the good about Suicide Squad, I really enjoy the production value of this film. The characters and costuming are well detailed. The film very much evokes sort of like a gangster vibe. You have characters with tattoos on their faces and stuff. Even though most of the movie takes place in generic city, Fallout, Call of Duty background, the characters themselves really have a lot of work done on them. Their outfits are interesting and have a lot of detail, and they're well designed and well crafted. And I enjoy them, especially Captain Boomerang's outfit for some weird reason, I don't know. And the movie is legitimately funny at times. Some jokes hit and some just don't work, and sometimes it seems like the film really tries too hard at being extra dark and gritty and doomsday and dark and spawn and... But more thought should have been put into this movie. The soundtrack, filled with sort of like a modern hip-hop, R&B, sort of like popular contemporary music vibe, even though I'm not a fan of those genres of music, is also fine. The orchestrated score is also pretty good too. But with Suicide Squad, there wasn't really a whole lot of thought or effort put into making a truly, truly great film. And that stinks. When describing the plot of Suicide Squad, it's pretty much a play-for-play beat off of... It's pretty much a play-for-play beat from Guardians of the Galaxy script. I'm not even gonna try to list them all here. If you watch one, you watch the other, so look it up for yourself. But take my word for it. It tries to be Guardians of the Galaxy. But what it doesn't understand about Guardians of the Galaxy is that Guardians built up and had terrific chemistry between the 5 of its characters. They were well-developed, funny, charismatic, and interesting. And they were super, super, super likable. With this ragtag group of villains, I'm not feeling it. And even though I know they're supposed to be villains, they try to give them some chemistry and some likability to them, but it doesn't really gel. But you know what? There are good ideas presented here. Jai Courtney's Captain Boomerang is a fun character, even though with the limited screen time that he had, and easily one of my favorites from the film. I forget the actor's name, but the actor who played El Diablo, the sort of Latino gangster pyrokinetic, he was also an interesting character, even though he could have been developed more. With his backstory of how he was a gangster that had everything he wanted, but decided to turn a new leaf in prison after killing his wife and kids. Well, they did say that familicide is a hot topic. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for that joke. This isn't a bad idea for a film. I just wish, again, developed a little bit more. From what I hear, the director is known for working with a lot of characters in his films, and he traditionally focuses on like 1 or 2 most of the time, while others don't get as much development. But this sucks. You're definitely going to see a lot of Will Smith as Deadshot, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, and yeah, those 2. The script is super, 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 super weak. Among it being a Guardians rehash, there's wooden delivery, worthless plot point, and at some instances a real lack of script continuity, which is not good for a big budget film like this. Especially concerning backstories of certain characters. Like spoilers, a big motivation for Will Smith's character to fight the final battle at the end is botched up because of script incontinuity, and that just sucks. They really messed up an important emotional moment, and that's not good. They ruined the emotional pathos of the scene by destroying the logic which the film has presented itself with the character dialogue presented in that scene. And of course, they're reluctant to fight the villain at the end, just before getting a pep talk, and they just move on. The script is generic. When it's not being Guardians, it's kind of being generic, but there is still some good, even though there's not a whole lot. In terms of the racial stereotypes I've heard people talk about with El Diablo and Katana really gets it the worst. I don't even know where I'm going with this. It just that problem really just stems from we didn't develop these characters enough, so how many samurai stereotypes can we put in this film? Oh, and for the people that care, have fun looking at Suicide Squad through a female gender and sexuality lens, because you're gonna have a field day with it. Holy heck, how this film treats women, not really all that great. Coming off of like Batman v Superman and Captain America Civil War, I do like the film for just bringing all these weird comic booky elements together in one film. Like, you got a mutated crocodile person, a guy born with demonic fire powers, a Japanese swordswoman with a magical sword, Joker and Harley Quinn, of course. It's really ridiculous, but I think it's ridiculous in all the right ways. Even though the tone of the movie is weird, it does want to be a goofy comic book movie, and it sort of succeeds, which is something I dig. I mean, they're fighting Aztec demons in like this city, and the main villain is this totem-y guy called the Incubus. How could you not love that? But the script just needed a few more rewrites in order to get it super tight and super good and super caring and loving and a really good film, but that didn't happen. Suicide Squad just needed a little bit more time in development, or just maybe it's a thing with too many hands in the kitchen. I don't know. With all the talk of Jared Leto's Joker, I don't know what to think of his interpretation. I don't really hate it. I get the reasoning why he looks the way he does. I mean, you want to update it. The perception of what a gangster is always going to change in the lifespan of this 70-year-old character. But I don't hate him. So just needed a better script to work with. Maybe see more. Maybe not have Zack Snyder or Warner Brothers interfere with the creative vision. I don't even mind that he has damaged tattooed across his head. He's a Joker. I don't know if the jokes have to be funny, though. Speaking of the other actors, Will Smith is pretty much playing Will Smith. And Margot Robbie. And just like Ben Affleck, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, I can definitely see. She's legitimately great in this. Although she does change from like a Brooklyn to a Boston accent between scenes. So like, Mr. J. So, would see more of her. Would I recommend Suicide Squad? It's the most entertaining DCEU movie so far, and I enjoyed it, even though I can't objectively call it good, so. Or subjectively, even. So, see it. See for yourself. Try to have a good time. Enjoy a different flavor of comic book movie with an extended shared universe, perhaps. I would just say, watch it if you really want to. If it doesn't interest you, nothing I've said or nothing anyone else has said, your mind's already made up, and you're probably not going to lose anything from not watching it based on what you saw. And so yeah, just sort of in the middle with Suicide Squad. But hey, that's all from me. I'm Maximum Austin, and until next time, keep being competent and you enjoy your day. Hello, if you made it this far, I want to thank you for watching the video in its entirety, or just skipping to the end. Hey, if you like this video, please give it a like, just leave a comment. I'll be more than willing to read any comments that are thrown my way, and feel free to share it on social media, Reddit. Is a recent fixation of mine. Just feel free. You're more than welcome to. Well, I know it's been a while since I uploaded something, but anything really, but I'm here and I'm back to uploading stuff, so things are going to be different, I swear. So feel free to subscribe if you would like to. Any of these things, any exposure really helps me out in this early genesis of this YouTube channel, so I appreciate it. I always appreciate it if you do, so thank you. I'll chat with you next time. This is Maximum Austin, getting away from Suicide Squad. Run away. Run away from DC. They're ruining everything. I got a pin. It's right here.